This video contains strong language and discusses inappropriate and immature topics. Viewer discretion is advised. My goal is to critically analyze and respond to the content presented, not to promote anything or endorse anything of this content. Viewer discretion is advised. This is more of an educational video as well from somebody, myself, who is a trafficking survivor. Thank you. This is different. I'm gonna get the assistance and the help of my partner a little later to be able to make sure that I get the OBS studio and understand how to do all this because I'm not very like smart with this stuff. But I want people to know that with trafficking and with the sex industry that has been around since Jesus, we go all the way back to the Mesopotamia era. And it has completely evolved to back then it was really normalized and it was something that women who did it were looked at as goddesses, and there were even things. I want to make a video on that because I think that Matt Walsh is very wrong when he tries to say that it has never been normalized. That is actually not true. The evolution of this stuff is very complex, and now it has evolved into something that is more behind your screen. Um, I would like to say that it's very difficult to understand a lot of this unless you have been through it. We know that it's happening on places like Cornhub. We know because of the millions of videos that they had to take down due to finding out that there were 15-year-olds and younger on Cornhub. And so when people think of trafficking being like you're in a basement, you're in chains and all that stuff, it's not how it is really anymore. It has evolved and people need to evolve with it. So here we are going to react. I'm going to react to Andrew Tate. You can react to however you think and whatever you want, whatever opinion you want, but this is what I think regarding what I have been through, what I know, and trying to understand what he's doing. Here we go. Let's go to the first one.
The first big money I ever made in my life, I first became a multimillionaire by running a webcam studio. So I had beautiful women sitting on
Okay.
computers talking to guys on webcams from all around the world. That's how I first made my money.
Yes. So, when I was first trafficked, the guy actually worked for Microsoft. And on the side, he had what we would say, a trafficking ring of women that he would be the one that would post online, and he would be the one that would literally go on there and pretend to be us, talk to the guys. So yeah, it's crazy. Like a lot of these guys think that they're talking to the actual girl, but the majority of the time there's somebody else behind them doing all of that. And he would talk for us, and he would make the ads, and he would do everything for us. So not surprised to see that he's a part of somebody that was talking to the guys too, pretending to be some girl.
And at one point, I had 75 women in 4 locations working for me,
It's a
which
lot of
was
women.
stressful and the wrong way to do it. I ended up removing
Yeah.
my army and going to special forces of around 15 people, 15 girls. And me and my brother made a lot of money doing that. But the PhD course,
Right there, if that's not telling you something, then I don't know what else to say because he's stating that he had multiple women and that he's making money off of them. Bruce, I believe, Bruce Rivers, this guy right here, if you could see him up at the top, does an amazing job as a defense attorney breaking down why he would never want to have Andrew Tate as a client and much more. He would be a horrible client because he is literally self-snitching right here. Bruce Rivers has broken down a video where he talks about exactly what I talked about in my educational video of trafficking, which I highly suggest everybody to check that out. It's force, fraud, and coercion. And right now, we're talking about what it looks like to me is he hasn't really implicated himself quite yet on certain things, like when it comes to coercion. He's just implicating that him and his brother are indeed making money off of these women, um, and that's a part of people that are involved in trafficking. He's a
course
pimp.
to get the ghost degree was teaching people how I managed females in those scenarios, how I controlled their emotions, how I convinced them to
Yes.
work and give me most of their
Yes.
money, how I convinced them to share me with other women, why they obeyed me. So it was never so much about out there picking up girls. It's actually something else. It was
Yes.
more about the psychology of things. And I'm saying, look, I'm a theorist. Here's the theory.
Absolutely. A lot of it in that video, a video that I just did recently about the manipulation of traffickers and pimps, it's all about psychology, and it's all about them knowing who they can easily manipulate and who they can easily target, and that's exactly what he did. Um and it worked, obviously.
Yeah.
That's fine. And he's managed to be quite successful just doing that. If he were to start lying and saying, I'm fucking all these 16-year-old women or 18-year-old women, whatever the law is in America. 18?
It's 18 usually. You
18.
get married at 16. I think.
All right, in Romania it's 16, sorry.
Yeah.
So if I'm fucking all these 18-year-old women, blah, blah, blah. Well, then he's added a bunch of lies on top of the character. I don't understand why. I think if you truly have something to say and you truly understand the game, you don't need to tell a bunch of lies.
So it is known that many traffickers will try to go after women, or sorry, okay, so they will go after women who are in what we would say women that are 18, 19 years old, that are vulnerable and come from dysfunctional families or whatever. People who have, I would say, a childhood that has issues. He is mentioning in a way that he goes after girls that are younger because in Romania the legal age limit is younger. Most traffickers will go after girls that are about 14 years old because they are more impressionable when it comes to being able to manipulate them because they're so young, and they end up looking at a man like Andrew Tate or whoever as the masculine uh father figure that's also like a boyfriend. So it's a really really messed up situation. He's a really fucked up person.
Once you start saying you're a playboy and you're slaying pussy, well, now you have a huge issue. And the issue is, where's your proof?
Receipts.
I'm the only guy on Twitter who's putting up pictures of him with hot girls.
Yeah.
But if you're
No,
not,
you're not.
if you're not gonna kick her out for certain things, then she's gonna continue to do certain things. I get these messages all the time from guys. Hey, I have this girlfriend, I really like her, but she has these male friends. Make her choose. You are the friends. She's gonna fuck one of them eventually. Otherwise, like, what are you delaying this for?
See, the thing about Andrew Tate is that he understands the psychology behind people. And that's why he's able to kind of come in and say all these things that men can relate to, is because he is the guy that is going and screwing your girlfriend. He is the guy that is going and is pimping out and trafficking your daughter, your sister, your grandma, whoever, who knows how it has gone. He knows the game. And it's true when we call it the game, because one thing I was talking to my partner about last night, I am part Italian and there's this Italian side that sometimes come out of me. And um in that, in the game, you learn kind of how to interact and all that stuff. So with him, he's easy for people to still like him despite him saying all these things, because I mean, he's able to kind of manipulate in a way by saying, "I'm a bad guy, but I'm a good guy," and he mixes those two together, and that's exactly what happens with a lot of trafficking victims. That is what happened with me. Like, you end up normalizing the abuse happening because, like, your brain starts to adapt to that and starts to think that that's normal. This must be what life is, this just this must be what it is, and it is. Like, we see on the internet so many people, so many men and women and just relationship and issues, that he's so he has charisma in a way that is psychopathic, and psychopaths are very charming. So let's keep going.
If you are arguing about male friends and she continues to want these male friends, she
Yes.
obviously is going to get drunk one night and suck some dick. We
Oh,
know
okay.
that. You know that. Everyone knows that. So tell her, choose me or the male friends. If she chooses the male friends and walks out on you, you've saved yourself a whole ton of time.
Yep.
What am I talking about? I don't want to come across as a sexist. I'm a realist, and reality is sexist.
There's no sexist.
Okay, and that's where he's trying to give his opinion does not make reality. Him saying that he's a realist is not reality because his reality is warped and manipulating people and coercing people, coercion and fraud and in things that are not reality. So it is a reality for some people to do that, but is it the reality that leads to a good, positive road? No, it's not. So his reality does not make like it doesn't make things factual. I just want to point that out that he thinks he's such a smooth talker, but after everything that I've been through, he I could see beyond this insecure little man, and I can see beyond this man who will honestly die a very unhappy life where the only things that mattered were objects and luxury. Look at him. Look at him. The only thing that matters is his cars, is having a bunch of children that is exaggerated. And he has even stated in a video where it's not going to be his daughters that get his money, it's going to be his sons, and his sons are going to be the one. And that just goes to show you how even with his own children misaligned he is. I mean, he's still breaking apart the genders in his own children. I he's a and his father was a really bad person. He talks about his father and he actually has adapted the same characteristics as his own father. The abused becomes the abuser.
Pigs there.
Yeah,
Not at all.
I'm a realist, and reality is sexist, right? So sometimes if I'm with a chick or whatever, and we're in a situation, she gives me her opinion, and I'm like, look, without disrespect,
Well,
you're a 19-year-old female. What do you know about the world? You don't know
yes.
anything about anything. Just leave it to me. You don't know anything.
Yes,
I
exactly.
don't expect you to know anything.
Absolutely. And that's why when people say things like, well, she's 18, she's 19, she's 20, like, what person all of a sudden just turns 18 and bam, they know everything, right? They know completely all the right moves and all the right angles to do. He's completely right. That's why it doesn't even need to be a 14, 15-year-old. It can be a woman that is literally legal age, and society will see it as, well, she made her own choice, but they don't want to see outside the box of, we don't just all of a sudden turn a certain age and have the maturity of an 80-year-old woman who understands and has been through life and has been through all these scenarios and situations. It is unfair and unjust to think that way when our brain is still developing. If you can't even rent a car most of the time until you're 25 because they understand, people, then how can we sit here and say that we are really ready to make full decisions at 18, 19 years old that are could potentially change the rest of our life? If the drinking age limit isn't until 21, how can we sit here and say that, okay, even society sees that the brain is still developing? Honestly, a lot of things should be at the age of 25. I'm just going to say that many things should be at 25 because we look back in our younger 20s and we're like, what the hell was I thinking? He's right. And you know what's funny is society will bite, but he's literally telling everybody just what people like me and everyone else have said. Just because I turned 18 doesn't mean I wasn't a fucking idiot. Doesn't, or I'm not going to even say idiot, but yeah, I am going to say fucking idiot because it's what everyone wants to say about me. I was an idiot. I was naive. I was ignorant. I trusted people who shouldn't have been trusted. And it happens far too often. He's right. And he's telling you guys. And most people don't want to listen.
So I don't know why you're trying to give me your opinion, because I don't put any responsibility on you to perform in basically any way outside of the bedroom. So just shush. Don't worry about it. Leave it to me, right?
Okay.
So yeah, the reality is sexist. I guess I'm a little bit of a sexist, but that's how it goes. The view is completely skewed, and it's skewed.
There is an interview where he has talked about that he has purposely told women that they cannot leave. They're not allowed to go to the club by themselves. That goes into the point of force when we talk about the three legal definitions of trafficking. Right there, he didn't really implicate himself too much. There is better videos out there, but we'll click into this one.
You're not getting a girl to work for you, haven't fucked. So the recruitment process is the same as the PhD course. You message them on Instagram, The PhD course is my
Yep.
recruitment system. I don't mention webcam until
Nope.
after I've had sex with the girl. If
Okay,
you're on dates and
so this is what we call the lover boy method, and this is what we call fraud. I don't mention the webcam until after I already have sleep with them. So this is the lover boy method.
you're trying to mention it and shit, it just doesn't work. It puts them off. I'd never do that. That's
Yep.
disgusting.
Yep.
I'm not a whore. It's just not gonna work.
Yep.
You continue as normal, no mention
You have to groom them. You have to groom them. And he's so right.
of webcam. You fuck the girl. After you fuck the girl, you do the PhD test. If she passes the PhD test and she wants to be with you,
The hell is the PhD test? He must be trying to test her to see if she's still going to pull through. And what it's funny because a lot of guys who and it's mostly men who when someone comes out and talks about what happened to them, they will be like, "Ah," they'll make an excuse. Well, most of you men acknowledge that women, the way that women bond is through intimacy. And so when you have somebody who is trying to manipulate you, use the lover boy method on you, and they know deep down what they're trying to do to you, think how insidious that is. He knows that what he is doing is he is trying to eventually get these women to work for him and for him to make money off of them, which he has stated that he has taken at times 100% of their money and just lets them stay there. That is trafficking.
then you start mentioning things like, yeah, but you know, you're always busy, you're always at work, you can come work for me. So,
Oh, yeah.
as I said, you cannot try and approach girls to do webcam. Hi, do you want to do webcam? It's bullshit. It doesn't work. No one's going to say yes. And any girl who does say yes is doing it. She doesn't like you. She doesn't know you. She doesn't love you. She's saying yes purely for money.
Interesting. So he's saying he doesn't like the girls that say yes right away. Huh, I'm gonna keep going.
I'm gonna sneeze. Any girl who wants money that bad is going to skank you and leave you when she realizes you get a big cut of it. So even if
And there we are. Like and there are legal rules and definitions and things that are set out, and one of those is recruitment when it comes to trafficking. Um recruitment is a huge one, and he is admitting to this. He's admitting to how he does this. Um, wow. He's saying he doesn't want the girl that's going to take the full cut. He wants to take the girls that's going to let him take a cut or the majority of the money.
you do get a girl to say yes that way, even if you do say to a girl, look, let's make some money, she's only in it for the money. She's not
Yes,
in
of
it to
course.
please you. And if she's only in
Why?
it for the money, she's going to get pissed off with her cut.
Yeah,
Because they're going to
why
Google
would
up
she
how
be
much
in
the
it to
tokens
please
were, how
you?
many tokens they made, and all that shit. They're going to get pissed off with their cut. Remember the tax things. You only have to pay them 30% instead of 50%. That's important for your profitability. So you don't want a girl who's in it for money. You want a girl
This
who's in
guy.
it to be with you. So you meet a girl, you take her on dates, you fuck her, whatever. She passes the PhD test. Then you start saying things like, oh yeah, but you're always working. I have to do some traveling and you can't come. I want to bring you with me. Traveling's a great one because the thing about this business is mobile. If you can find a good Airbnb,
So, a big part of trafficking is taking people and taking them away from where they actually live.
with good internet, you can run it somewhere else. So it's a good little caveat to throw in. Oh, and you're always working. Why don't you work for me so we spend more time together? Work for you doing what? So I'll have a webcam business. Oh, I don't want to do that. So, okay, I know you don't want to do that, but listen. Come, let's have a meeting. Let's just talk about it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Fine. But let me explain it to you properly. In fact, I'll bring one of the girls who works for me. You're bottom bitch.
Okay. So, it is very, very common for people to have, for traffickers to have a woman involved in order to take down the masculine energy of this man and to bring in the feminine energy of a woman to be there and to like nurture and to say things like just try it once, just try it once. And it is very normal for women to be involved at under, and there has been that woman, I can't remember what her name is, that has come up regarding being that woman for him. And those women are oftentimes with the combination, okay, the combination of the lover boy method and then that other woman that's trying to recruit and coerce the women, they are literally the perfect combination in order to do this.
The new girl, you go out for fucking a nice dinner. Your bottom bitch is the one who does the selling.
Yep.
You don't do the selling.
Yep.
The girl has to hear it from a girl.
Yes.
This is where your bottom bitch has to be trained. That's why I said it's so important to have a good first girl.
Yes.
My first girl was so good, it was easy. My girl would sit there and go, oh my God, before this I was a waitress and it was shit, and now I do this, I make so much money, and the guys all love me and they adore me, and on my birthday they send me presents, and I get so much money, blah, 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 and it's so much fun, and we stay at home, and da-da-da-da, and we're gonna go to Thailand soon, we're gonna be working in Thailand, and we're gonna stay there for as long as we want, you should come with us, it's gonna be so much fun,
it's a great sell.
Martinis, 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 bang, threesome. Slam them both,
Oh
the
my
bottom
God.
bitch knows, this girl's like, okay, well I'll try it. Put both girls on camera together the first day, so the new girl can sit there and just sit with the other girl and get drunk. Give them a bottle of vodka, put on the fucking chatterbait, 100 tokens per shot. The guys will send loads of money to get the girls drunk, because guys like drunk girls. Girls will sit there, get drunk, have a great time. You say it's your new job now, you haven't go to work ever again. That's how you recruit girls.
So, yes, you make sure that the woman is under the influence. You try to make sure that there is a woman that is there to sell it in a different way from a woman's perspective. And absolutely what he's saying is 100% true. And I think that's all I'm going to do for today. I'm really surprised that I did not get heavily triggered by this, but I think that with doing these videos, I'm becoming more and more stronger mentally. I can say that it is very triggering with the female one and the lover boy method, because um that was part of what happened to me. What happened to me, I'm just going to disclose this a little bit, was I was lied to about a job, and I was told something that was not actually what it was. And I traveled 2 states away in order to go to that. And when I got there, it was not what it was. And I had nowhere to go back to. I had no money. I had no car. I had nothing. I will never forget that day in the basement thinking about what am I going to do with my life? And that is a part of fraud. Right there, fraud was the very beginning. They lied about what was happening. And the thing is that they knew, intentionally knew, that they were lying. Because in the end, after everything that happened, after sitting in that basement and crying and sitting in that basement and thinking, I don't even know what to do with my life. What am I going to do? I have nowhere to go. And then the girl comes up and the girl just tells me, hey, like, it's okay. Like, just try it one time. Just try it one time and see how you feel, and she's like, you have no idea. I get exactly what he's saying, what the girl said. She's same thing with me. You have no idea. You will get so much money. You will have men that will pay you so much money, and you will have such a great life. It was all this manipulating this. And to look back, it's like, I get, some people might watch this and be like, well, how could you have fallen? But it's like, I was 18 years old. I mean, it's not like I just turned 18 and I know any better. And I grew up in a very dysfunctional childhood where abuse and people who lied and people who manipulated and people who were physical and sexually abusive was normal to me, because that's what my childhood, like, the whole childhood happened from a very young age. So it was normal to me. And I knew in the basement what was happening when I was thinking about it. I knew it was wrong and I couldn't believe I was being lied to. But I remember sitting there and saying to myself, well, it sounds like this is just normal. Like this is life, because I eventually found out that the girl and the boy got paid for recruiting me. And I eventually found out more stuff. And the crazy thing is that the guy who worked for Microsoft, who was the original bigger guy, he knew that I was not fully informed on what was happening and that I was lied to. And I remember he just walked away and walked upstairs and let the other person, which was the girl, do all the talking and did exactly what Andrew Tate said and made it, and it's coercion and it's fraud. And then eventually things did lead to force. Eventually force was involved. You don't have to be forced in trafficking through chains. it, you don't have to always be that way, but it did end up that way with me. Not with chains, but moments where I would try to run down a road, I would try to run away, and moments where I literally I used a weapon to try and harm him. And eventually when I ran, he chased me down the road. There was fights that would happen in the back of a car where I would try to escape. And this is where my brain starts to have flashbacks. But it's a very complex topic, and it has evolved, and it's no longer what people think it is to the fullest. It is now changed into something different because everything in life evolves, and this is one that has evolved with life. So I thank you for coming. I would like to find better clips and to really do this in a more efficient manner, and I will talk with my partner about that. But for people watching this, know that a lot of what he is saying is very, very true and very, very accurate. And it happens all the time. And it's not okay. And it's now becoming very hard to watch this because it brings back a lot. It brings back the feelings of like, how could you have been so stupid? Like, how could you have been so dumb? Like, it brings back the feelings of looking at myself now as a woman who is way stronger through everything that I've been through and wanting to literally have a flashback of me when I was 18, 19, 20, whatever, and just wanting to grab that girl and just say, I'm gonna get you out of this. You're gonna be okay. And at that time, I couldn't do that. And so it's very hard to it's just very hard because it's happened to a lot of people, and I've seen it happen to other people, including myself. And it's hard. This is a tough one now all of a sudden. Um so I will do another one on Andrew Tate later. I just want to be able to have help from my partner to make better videos, but thank you for coming, and this was definitely a lot different. I feel. Um, yeah, I think I need a moment.